Hey guys, it's me, Abriana, also known as Black Girl Writing, and today I'm just going to give y'all a little updated type of vlog. So, today is February the 28th, a Tuesday. It's been about a week and 4 or 5 days, really 4 days if you kind of count the weekend, since I posted my last video, my part 3 of me finishing up my, my little outline of part 1 for my novel. And then I was chapter outlining like I'm Emmons. So now, since I've taken a little break, I did not write that much the week after last week. I'm not even gonna act like I remember the dates. It was a real chilled week for me. It was a lot of stuff that I had to do for work, so I really wasn't too pressed on writing, I should say. But I was in a really chilled space. Like, I felt good with my writing. I did 3 more exercises when I wrote by hand, and I put that in my binder that it's going to be my series Bible once everything's kind of like completed and out of my head. So, and with that being said, I'll just, do the main thing. I've already organized all of the chapters. I got everything set in stone, and it was just typing it. The only problem was I was getting very distracted on my computer. I have a gaming laptop, so most of the notifications I get, if they're not YouTube related, then they're just like games that, oh, you might be interested in this game. Oh, you play this, so you might be interested in this game. And I get very distracted very easily. Like, that's just the hyper person in me. I just get very distracted very easily. So what I have been doing is I have returned back to writing my 0 draft by hand. Okay, I've gone back to writing my 0 draft by hand. I'm writing it in a 192 paged black journal. I'm gonna get that for you. I've written about, like, this morning I wrote for 30 minutes and I wrote like 2 more pages. So I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get my journal just so I can show y'all just what it looks like. So this is the notebook that I'm using to write my 0 draft in. So let me tell y'all my plan. So I came to this epiphany to go back to writing by hand. One, because I got like the most views on that video on my channel. So, like, no lie. So I was like, oh, I want to get some views like that. But then also, again, with the distractions, and there's just something about just typing on the computer, I just kind of felt a little bit disconnected. I felt great when I was typing out the outlines, because, all the ideas were coming, and I was like, okay, cool, I got this. But when it came to, like, sitting down and, like, finishing up and starting another chapter, I was like, I don't want to do it like this. So I switched it. So I'm writing in my notebook. So I have everything titled and all that stuff. The Chaos and Mayhem series by Abriana Harris. Once I change y'all know I got married. I still have to change my last name. So yeah, once I change my last name, that would be all good. But anyway, so I got my little series title and all that stuff. Ooh, I sectioned it off so far, just, with part 1 and all that stuff. But I've just been writing, Jakari's chapter. What I've been doing, I only write on the front. I don't write on the back of the page, because on the back of the page, that's where I leave my notes for stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. I'm in the middle of the scene of Jakari's chapter. I've written so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on to the 7th page, right? And like I said, I did some writing this morning, and there's just something about writing in the notebook that just feels so good for me right now, and it's something that's making me, like, this process is having me actually put words on the page, and I think that's really what matters. Like I said, this is technically my 0 draft, so it's gonna be a whole bunch of shit. I believe, and I know I can fit the entirety of what I'm thinking so far in here, like the rough draft phases of it. And then my plan is, once this is done, because the convenience of having a notebook is just great. Like, I sleep with this thing, like my weird writer confession, like, I sleep with this under my pillow. And so for like the last 2 days, as soon as like my alarm clock goes off, instead of doing my morning pages, I get up and I just finish where I was writing from the night before. And I've only been doing this for like 3 days, really. I wrote 2 days. I wrote 2 pages the first day, 3 the second day, which was yesterday night, and then this morning I wrote 3 more pages in the 30 minutes that I gave myself to like chill and do stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of where everything is at now. What else should I really just update y'all on? It's just gonna be like a really quick video type of vlog. It's a short week for me. I have conference for my job, so I'm actually gonna be out of town Thursday, Friday, but I'm gonna be bringing this bad boy along, so I'm still gonna be doing my writing when I get some time to, you know, like step away and all that stuff. And that was the real thing why I really wanted to get back into writing by hand, is there's no excuses. I don't need a charger. I can just throw it in my book bag. I got a steady supply of pens. My eyes aren't burning. And you know what I've really been doing? I've been trying to create a ritual for myself. I watch, I was going to say K-Cap. No, that's not right. Books by K.T. I'm pretty sure that's her channel name. Anyway, she's a real popular author too, but she has like a whole bunch of books and all that shit. So, y'all probably know who she is. And so like her little, I don't want to say her ritual, but like how she gets into her writing is like she picks a scent and all that for the book, and that's what I decided to do. So for the past 2 days, I've just been, after I'm done with work, shower, all that stuff, I put this scent on, I light my Applewood candle, and I bring these 2 with me, either here in my office or in my bedroom, and I just write. So I'm trying to create a ritual for myself. One thing that I've been doing to fill my creative well has been watching this YouTube channel called Film Courage. So Film Courage is just a YouTube channel where a woman interviews like writers, directors, screenplay people, and all that stuff. And you know, my dream is that eventually my series can be a live adaptation. I mean, why? I mean, it's you know, it's chaos and mayhem, you know, so some bad stuff happens, but like I said, the world's not pretty, and my book ain't gonna be pretty either. But I'm like, I like to listen to different directors and screenplay writers and obviously other authors talk about their process in writing and all that stuff. And since I want this to be a live adaptation someday, hell, if I just don't become a director myself and just do the screenplay myself, I just want to learn more about what's happening like in the craft of like screenplays and like directing and then writing, and it's been filling my creative well. I like to hear other people's different processes. So that's just really what I've been doing. Like every other day I try to watch like a different video. Usually her videos range from like an hour to 2 hour interviews. So usually it takes me about a full day. Like I'll start listening to it kind of like a podcast when I'm on my way to work, listen to it on my lunch break, and then I'll come back, listen to it throughout the day. And I've been really vibing with that. Like that's been my little shtick for a little bit. So yeah, that's just been it. So I guess what I'm gonna do once I close this off is just update you guys. Let's see, I guess I should talk about like the new game plan I have. You know, first quarter is pretty much, you know, I still got March. And I know my goal, like I was looking at my assignment notebook for other things I have plotted out, like have 20 chapters done by this day, have so-and-so done by this day, and clearly none of that has happened. We are still here. Jakari, chapter 1, redone, because I just tend to, I backpedal a lot. That's the hardest thing with me. I do a lot of backpedaling. What writing by hand has forced me to do is just kind of just keep what I have on the page, and I don't like it. It's bad. But I'm trying to build the habit of to continue writing and to just leave it here. And then also one thing that I find for me that's been working, and that, well, I assume will work for me, is watching the book fill up and get used. That's going to be like oh, I've been working on this for how long, and I'm halfway there. You know, monitoring your progress. One of the advice that one of the writers gave is, you know, not monetary value in a sense, but what does she do? I'm gonna leave the video of the one that I watched. It was like the 11-step method of like outlining or something. And she was like, her process is she gets her notebook and she gets regular pencils because she likes to watch the pencil go down and down and down, and then she gets another pencil and she goes down and down and down. And I was like, I like that. Like, you know, as writers, and I feel one thing that really gets me is I feel like I've been working on this project for a year, but sometimes I don't feel like I have things to show up for it. And so I want to try this new method of going by hand, because it's just so easier to tangibly see the progress I've made. I can tangibly see the 7 pages that I've written and crossed out and all that stuff. I can see the work being done in the journal. And then the pens that I use, I'm not going to throw them away when I'm done. My whole, this whole process for myself is going to be to keep everything that I have used for this zero draft. So I have a little spot, I don't know where I put it. I have a container that says the pens I use to make the zero draft. I don't know where the fuck, I think I put it in a bag here or something. But anyway, the pen that I'm using now is like a black ballpoint pen, and I'm gonna use this shit until it's dead, and then instead of throwing it away, I'm gonna collect it as a memorabilia. Like, this is the process, and this is all the things that I've used to create my zero draft. And then from there, that's when I plan on going to the computer for these first draft. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I'm changing the plan and not the goal. So my goal is still to have this manuscript finished, and I believe full-heartedly that I can have this shit finished within a year. And I feel like with the process that I'm trying to ingrain in myself now, I can finish it within 60 days. Like, I really do fucking believe that. Like I said, part 1 is already plotted out. Now I'm actually just writing everything that I've already plotted, and then when I'm done with that, I'll break down part 2. I'll organize the chapters like I did for part 1. So I think that's going to really be my process. Taking bits and bites at this book and then just constructing it piece by piece. And so since I already know the framework of how it starts, how it ends, I'm just going to get started with it. The one thing I do want to do, I want to make sure I'm not going to write as detailed as I initially thought I would be writing. At first, I was like, this is gonna be like 3,000 words a chapter. So then by the end, it'll be like, you know, 100,000 something words. I have to reframe that. I want everything I still think it's gonna be like 40 chapters though, right? Because it's kind of 4 parts-ish, but it's really 3 parts. But I want all of those chapters to fit in here, just like the base zero draft. And then when I go to the computer, when I relook at this work, that's obviously when I'm going to start editing and fixing things up. Right now, I have characters named X1, X2, X3. I don't want to open my computer at all. Like, I already know the order of things, and instead of like opening my plotter, I just have the sticky note method of just, this is what this chapter is about. This is what this chapter is about. Just the sticky note method in order. I have it on my corkboard, which is on the other side of my desk, and I'm about to get that for you. But that's just what I've been doing to rework my process to make it more effective. Because I feel like that's just my thing. Like, I feel like I'm not making progress because my system isn't effective for me. Like, I keep fluctuating different systems because I'm trying to find what works. And I really think plotting out all of part 1, having all that set in stone in the right order, and then like writing that out, I have a framework. I think that's my system. And that was another thing that I learned from watching. It wasn't even Film Courage. It was about like reinventing yourself. I want to reinvent myself, right? I want to reinvent Abriana. And then the tip that the guy said was, instead of, you know, creating goals, you need to create a system. I'm just going to try to find that video and link it. It was like, damn. It's like, it's not your system. I mean, it's not your goals that are the problem. It's your system. You don't have a systematic way to getting to your goal. And I know my goal. I want my book to be finished. And I want to be able to be, yeah, I think that's the thing. My immediate goal is to have this to be finished. Future goals, I can tack that on when I'm there, and I tend to kind of jump forward. Like, oh, I want to be published. I want to be that. I want to do this. I want to have $1 million house. I want to be able to work from home, all that jazz. Reframe. Baby steps. Doing interventions on myself like I do with my clients, because come back. Baby steps. Start slow. We're going to start here. This is our simple, tangible, this is our SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's timely, and it's relatable. I think that's the other one, right? No, realistic. It was realistic. There we go. It was realistic. So realistically, in 60 days from now, I know full-heartedly if I keep the system in which I am doing right from 7 to 8, I'm in bed by 9. That gives me an hour to write. And then when I get up, first thing I do, since I sleep with this under my pillow, 30 minutes in the morning, I'm jotting down what I finished off from last night. So I still kept that tip from that Jed Horn video where he's like, even though I'm in a good writing place, I still stop it, right then and there, so I know where to pick up back. So I know where to pick back up on and still being in that writing space. I don't know if it's just me, just like the what's the word, like the, I don't want to say the placebo effect, but maybe I'm just convincing myself that when I literally sleep with this under my pillow, the ideas and the voices, I just feel like I'm just ready to just spring into it. So that's what I've been doing. So yeah, so I'm just gonna keep you guys updated. My dog is going off on something. I don't know what it is. Probably messing with the cats. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to touch bases with y'all real quick, just so y'all know what is happening. Sorry to fumble my words a little bit. I will vlog the rest of this week. This dog is so annoying. I will vlog the rest of this week, so you guys will be getting this video sometime in March, right? So, okay. I will just see y'all real soon, later in the next clip. Hey guys, it's me. It is March 1st, a Wednesday, and I'm just touching bases on what happened yesterday. And also this morning, because I'm writing in the morning now too. I did my morning pages. So this morning I finished Jakari's chapter. He has 11 pages. And I wrote 3 pages this morning, and I wrote 2.5 pages, and then the 3 from this morning. So he has 11 pages all together. If I did that right in my head. I did a lot of writing. The writing has been going good. I've been doing a lot of side notes in the other margin of my notebook that I don't write on. So I write on that front page, and then I just leave the back page blank so I can put notes and all that stuff. So I made some author notes to make this chapter more exciting and sad at the same time. I showed some sad moments and a few oh, he's actually a manifestor, revealing what he is in that last part. But when I go through for the first draft, because this is my 0 draft, so when I go through with the first draft, I will clean that up and make it a little bit more exciting. But I just threw different ideas out, like you can add this, and maybe you could take away this, but then add this. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. And so today I will be working on Zadia's second chapter again. But this time I'm working on showing her personality, I want to say. So I already have this chapter written out. I already know she's going to have a fallout with her friend. And that's how it's going to leave kind of on that bad note. But I'm really working, what I'm going to work on is showing her personality, like her living in her survival mode, right? Yeah, right. So she has to manipulate people and things. Well, she has to manipulate people in order to feel like she's in control, because ever since her dad's sudden disappearance and her life's been falling apart, things have felt out of control for her. And I think that's the real thing that I want to get at by the end of this by the end of this novel, actually, no, I don't even want to solve my character's problems by the end of this novel. I want them to recognize that they have this problem, and then in the second book, they start to work on it, but then they fall back and then they have bad moments. Like, I know Jakari is gonna do good with his magic, but then he's gonna lose control and he's gonna end up hurting and fucking some people up. I know Zadia's gonna work on not trying to manipulate and trust others, but she's still gonna fall back to her old ways because, you know, it's hard to implement new skills and to trust people and to make progress. Because I know I work in the mental health field, so we make little progress and we have steps back. We fall back a little bit. We come back making those little progress. It's like it's a forever tug of war. It's really a forever tug of war, and I really want that to be shown in the book. But mainly, you know, I want to start doing that in the first draft. Right now, I'm still leaving notes like add this, make this scene more of this, remove more of that, and then add some of this. So I'm adding little author notes. So when I go back, when I'm done after the for NaNoWriMo, then I'm gonna start adding all that shit together. So yeah, so I'm excited to do Zadia's chapter with that. Writing has been going really well, like actually writing. The only problem is my knuckles really fucking hurt. Like, I believe I am more productive writing than I am typing because I'm in the, you know, the pages are smaller, but like I'm consistently finishing 2 or 3 pages and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna call it a night. 2 or 3 pages, you know, fully written. But my knuckles have really been like killing me. I think it's probably the way I just hold my pencil. Like, my wrist is fine, it's just my knuckles just really been hurting. So that's like the only thing that I'm just like about. So I ordered me some like pencil grips, so maybe, well, pencil grips for my pen, and then maybe that can help me hold it a little bit better. I don't know. That's the only thing that I've noticed that's been a pain in the ass thus far with these like 3 going to go on 4 days that I've been writing. But hey, I really can't complain. I think that's about it. So for today, since today is Wednesday, my all-day conference is tomorrow. So it's going to be a really weird day for me. I got to travel up to where our work venue's at. And that's like not work venue, but where the conference is going to be held, like an hour away from my house. So I know I'm going to write tonight. No problem. I know I'm going to do my morning pages from 7 to 7:30. No problem with that, because I did that today, and I'm making a system that works, y'all. I'm making a system that works. So I know I'm not going to have any problems with that. So probably after the conference, I'll probably sneak away for 30 minutes, you know, change and write some more of, you know, Zadia's chapter. And then Friday, I ain't doing fucking work anyway, so it don't fucking matter. It ain't gonna matter. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. But then again, the freedom that I now have because I have a journal, that's why I wanted to start writing in it, because I have the freedom. I don't have to really stress that much. I know I can sneak in writing really at any time. I don't have to bring around my big bulking computer, and I can stay consistent. Like, I just hate that guilty feeling I would have if I wanted to write, but I couldn't write because I just didn't want to break out my computer. I didn't want to charge it. I didn't want to have to connect to the Wi-Fi, because for some reason, sometimes my gaming computer be struggling and it'll like black out and all, not black out, but it'll like time out and all that stuff, and then progress won't be saved. I'm just like, the fuck? Pay all this money for this gaming laptop and it's doing all this shit. But yeah, like, I literally have a sense of ease going into this conference because I know I'm still going to get my writing in. Like, I know nothing's going to impede on that, because I'm going to write in the morning and I'm going to write before shit gets crazy after conference. So I am okay. I feel Gucci. Now, the next day, Friday, I'm still going to get my morning pages in. Fuck that. I'm still getting my morning pages in. I got to do that. So, like I said, I'm trying to stick with a system that works for me. And And that's just really that on that. So I will touch bases with y'all later on in the week. I'll probably put some images of conference. I've never been to a work conference before, so I'm really excited. Like, it's my first like big girl job. And I've had like a job before, but I was in home care. So all I did was just take care of people. Go to their house, stay there for hours on end, take care of people, make sure they're okay. And then I went home. So we never did like work stuff because I worked by myself. But now I work like on a team and a group with staff and all that stuff. So this is really exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my first real work conference. Yay! All right. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go. All right, see y'all later. Hey you guys, it's me. It's the next day. I'm making sure I'm not covering my volume on my phone because I filmed this before and I couldn't hear shit when I put it into like, when I tried to like replay my little 3 minutes. So I was like, oh, let me refilm this again. So anyway, it's the next day. It's March 2nd. It's the day of conference. It's about 7:40 now. I just finished my morning pages. So I did 2 full pages in Zadia's chapter, and then I started on the 3rd page with her ending quote and all that stuff. So yeah, and I have a confession. I did not write last night like I wanted to, like god damn, but I had a good reason. So I didn't get done from like my work event with my friends, the other 2 supervisors who were all driving up to fucking Columbus. I didn't get home until like 7, and 7 is normally when I start my little writing session. So I got home at 7, then I take care of the animals. Then I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be gone, but also I didn't pack. So then I had to pack, and then that took me another hour because I'm such a procrastinator. And then I was like, damn, I'm gonna be gone. And then I don't know, husbands are just like giant human babies. He's like, you're gonna be gone, you're not gonna spend no time with me, we gotta finish watching you. I was like, oh my god. So then I was like, fuck it, let me just spend time with my husband. We just chilled, ate sweet potato fries, didn't even watch You. We watched what did we watch? It was fuck, what was it? It was something. It was like this documentary about natural disasters and all that shit. I think it's called Earth something. Anyway, it's new on Netflix, so that's what we watched. And then I think I went to bed at 12. So I was like, yeah, writing just, it wasn't in the picture, but that's okay. That's okay. Woke up this morning right at 7, wrote 2 pages. I'm gonna say I don't like how I started off this chapter. I started off a little bit different than the notes that I wrote in my plotter. Everything else is still going to be the same. I wanted it to be more of an action scene. So for Zadia's chapter, I wanted to really be shorter than Jakari's chapter that was 11 pages. And then moving forward, I still want all of the chapters to be short because I want them to all fit in here. And then I just want to write the essence of the scene and what's happening. So that's my main focus. So hopefully I can finish Zadia's chapter within like the next 6 pages, and then I can move on to Adonaiah, because I just want to really put what's important, you know. I just want to get it all that's in my head out on here. Like, it really doesn't matter how detailed it is. I just got to keep reminding myself that, like, 11 pages for that first page was like, damn, like, I wrote a little bit of a lot. So that's not my intentions for Zadia. I finished the first scene, and like I said, I'm showing that manipulation off the back. She has to do what she has to do. She's running late and all that stuff. She's like, oh my god. So like low-key me. Like low-key me sometimes. So I just finished that first scene with her. I'm jumping into the second scene, and then she has 2 more scenes. So jump into the second scene. She has 1 more scene. Was that 3 scenes? 3 scenes kind of. And I'm into the scene, going to the scene with the whole registration, blowout with her friend, and then returning home. So she has 3 more scenes that I have to write for her. So yeah, so I am going to do that today. Conference be damned. I don't know. Socialization with other peers be damned. Writer gotta write, okay? I've got to write, and I would be so... The only reason why I wasn't mad at myself last night is because I was like,
I know I'm gonna write in the morning, and I did, and I did my normal 2 pages, so I'm not impressed about that. But I do want to write tonight. I do want to write for my full hour, like I've done the past day or so. So I'm like, I do want to do that. So I will try to stick to it. I don't think conference is gonna be that long. Like I said, I've never been to a work conference before. It's supposed to be like 500 people in the entire company, like all the different states that we're in. So it's really gonna be fun. It's just like, damn, like I would still rather be home writing. You know what I mean? Like, you know. So anyway, that's that. And I may put some videos or some clips down below of conferences, like driving and all that stuff. We're all wearing our work shirts, so I probably just won't show much of that because privacy reasons. So anyway, that's it. That is it. That's all. I will see y'all later on. And I'm pretty sure I already said that today was March 2nd.
Let's put the lights on, shall we? I don't think you can see that. What about this one? Nope. I can see those. Yeah. There we go. I like those. Alrighty, we got the lights on. Okay. So, hey y'all, it's me. I'm just gonna get everything out the way for this video because I was like, oh, let me just close this vlog. I'm in a bit of a mess. I was washing my hair, so my face is all dry and cracked and crusty because of the water, and then I got tired. I was like, I would rather just close out this vlog about how it went for like this first week of, like, you know, trying my new writing system, then finishing my hair, and then my nose is all runny because I'm cold as shit. I just really wanted to film this video. Also, Nala is on the floor eating her bones, so that's about it. So, okay, yeah, so it is March 7th, Sunday. Just recapping how writing has been going. I have only, so for this like week of trying out this new writing system, I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, on the way to 17. So yeah, I've written 17 pages in this week. Averaging about 2 pages a writing sprint that I would do for, like, you know, 30 minutes. So I think that system is gonna work good for me. A lot of stuff happened this week, like with conference and work and all that stuff, so I really didn't get to try it out the full week like I would have wanted to, but now I can, starting this week. So Friday, once I came back from conference, I didn't write anything because I was fucking exhausted. Like, oh my god, hanging around all those people, I was just like, I just need to detox from people. I was just, it was a lot. So I didn't write yesterday, I didn't write Friday, Saturday, and today is Sunday. I do plan on finishing a scene that I have in Zadia's chapter. The only, Nala, Nala, you're really loud. Just 2 seconds. I just need 2 seconds, dude. Anyway, so I want to finish the scene that I have with Zadia that's like in my head. The only problem that I'm facing right now is the last 2 pages that I wrote in Zadia's chapter. My penmanship was fucking deplorable to the point I don't even know what I was writing, and I'm a little bit upset. I want to rewrite that chapter just so it looks better, because again, I'm trying to train myself to like have better penmanship, right? So I want to do that. And yeah, so in a nutshell, for things to say, I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of work on that chapter, or rewriting that chapter and all that stuff. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share if you can. Tell me what systems you are using to help yourself be more productive in writing. Like I said, I still believe within 60 days this bad boy can be done. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment, rate, and subscribe, share if you care. I'll be back with another video real soon.